Back on the Rivercats pregame show, we are at Dell Diamond in Round Rock. It's game 2 of this series, the Rivercats and the Round Rock Express. I'm joined by Trenton Brooks, who last night sealed the deal with a 3-run homer. I thought maybe V had sealed the deal in the top of the 10th, and we had to play on to the 11th, but your home run was kind of the cherry on top of a 5-run frame, and just take us through that at bat.
Yeah, I was getting a little bit impatient early in the game, and I really just tried to hone in, swing at good pitches, and obviously our team did a really good job against that guy, taking good at bats, hitting balls hard, taking our walks when we got him. I think it was a 2-1 or 3. I think it was a 3-1 count, something like that, and I was just really trying to pull him close to me and get a pitch I could handle.
The game itself played out just kind of in a weird fashion, but obviously you come through with the big hit, and you've done that a few times this year. I mean, you're having quietly an awesome season, batting over 300 with 9 homers and over 50 runs batted in. What's been your approach throughout the course of this season, and you've been so steady as she goes?
Nothing crazy, working with Tiny, just making sure things are fine-tuned and posture, all that kind of stuff, making sure those things are in the right spots, and really, it's nothing too crazy. Just swinging good pitches, take the balls, and get my ace swing off.
By design, I've waited to chat with you about what happened a couple months ago for you. And you've been a pro since 2016, and on May 28th of this year, you make your major league debut with the Giants. Can you just take us through the phone call that you got when you found out that you were going to the big leagues, and what that meant and how it all went down?
Yeah, it was obviously a super crazy day. I got a call from Brundy, and Brundy, cracked a little joke on me, and then he finally told me, he's like, "Yeah, man, like, you're going to the big leagues." That was what his call that was, and I got to call my wife and tell my kids, and call my mom and dad, call my old baseball coach, and it was a surreal experience. It was super cool, and next thing you know, the next morning I was all packed up, heading to San Francisco. So,
how about that first big league hit? What was going through your mind, and I guess maybe what was going through your body at that point?
Yeah, nothing was going through my mind. I didn't have any time to think, but no, it was really cool, and obviously getting a hit off Marcus Stroman was really cool. That guy's pitching some really big games and done well in some big games, so that was really cool, and it was cool. My family was there; they got to experience it too, and it was great.
Joined by Trenton Brooks here on the pregame show. The return to the Rivercats, you clear waivers and you come back, and I thought it was pretty appropriate you come back and we're in Reno. That's where you played your college ball. It was right up the road at Piccoli Park, and we talked about it a little bit at the time. Was that kind of a full circle moment for you there a little bit in a way?
Yeah, definitely. It's so fun for me to go back to Reno, man. I really love it there. I got a lot of good friends there, a lot of good experiences there. It's definitely full circle. It's always fun to go back there and play. And, when I was in college, we used to play the Reno Aces. And I remember thinking how crazy it was, how good they were, whatever it is. They seem so much bigger. And, I don't know. You really looked up to those guys. And, you go to some of those games also, during the school year. And, it's just really, really, really cool to go back and play there and remember what I thought of this place, when I was at that age.
You've now played in this league a couple of seasons with 2 different teams. What are some of the keys to being successful in this league? And I know people might say, well, it's a hitter's league, but that could also pose some challenges. I mean, you might not stay within yourself and try and launch the ball and this and that, but you've been so steady. What's the key to being successful in the PCL?
I think it's, keeping it simple, really, right? Know yourself as a hitter. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? I think we spend a lot of time on what the other pitcher does, or, looking at scouting reports. And I think it's equally important to know what we do well and how to create a plan around that. Really just understanding what you do well, sticking to that, and not trying to get too big. I think we always, you go play in Albuquerque and you try to get really big. And it's like, I think I've played there for 12 games now. This year and last year, I've not hit a single homer there. So really just staying within yourself and doing what you can to ultimately help the team. So
I have 2 kids. You have kids. I admire anyone that's in this game that is a parent also, and it helps to have great wives at home. But can you just touch on playing this game now and how your life has changed since you've become a dad and being a dad in baseball? Because I think it's a very unique life that unless you do it, you really don't have an idea what it's like. But how do you balance it, and what's it like?
I mean, ultimately, it is challenging, right? Like being away from your wife and kids is not, it's one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do. Luckily for me, I'm so grateful for my wife and 2 kids, and they watch the game every night because they get to see Dad on TV, and I've been very blessed and grateful for my wife Danica for taking the reins at home and ultimately raising the kids for 6 months by herself. Very lucky that she gets to come out a lot. Being in San Diego right now, it's close, so it's nice for them to have, they get to come out a lot. So I'm really lucky to have them. It's a really hard job, but ultimately I do this for them. So.
Brooksy, so pumped for your success, man. Congratulations on being a big leaguer, and thanks for the time, and have a great rest of the season. Only a week and a half left.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You got it. That's Trenton Brooks. We'll come back and have the starting lineup's first pitch from Dell Diamond and Round Rock next on the River Cats Digital Network.